We have 13 weeks of pure excitement, pure learning, pure sharing, doing business together, bonding.
Idea extraction is your bedrock to building a profitable business.
Your business has a value, you have worth, and you need to be able to set your price. No matter how great the product is, it has to be marketed. If you have the cure for cancer tomorrow and you don't market it, no lives will be saved. Think about the challenges that we have and why your product or service is going to fill that.
You are the brand. We have to find our own unique value proposition.
At the end of the day, business is about money. And the big question you're always going to get, who is going to pay for this and how much money is it going to actually produce?
The only thing that you need to do is not give up.
This is going to be an exciting ride, ladies.
A few seconds just before we have our very special guest, come on and just take it. I mean, who else? Who better to really just talk to us about marketing and trends other than Donna from Google? So I'm just gonna share my screen just to, Nadine had a quote that she wanted me to definitely share with you. And so I'm just gonna pull that up since she's not here right now. Okay. Just a second. All right. Can we see my screen now?
Not yet.
You still can't see it?
It's coming up, but
It's taking its sweet time to come up.
yeah.
And so while it comes up, I'm just going to share. So this is the week where we really talk about marketing and our business, whatever it is, whether you're selling products or there it is, you're selling products or you're delivering a service. Marketing basically really is the bridge between, what a company produces or offers as value and what the customer really wants. And good marketing is really that blend and that bridge that just connects a company or the brand or service to the customer. Good marketing makes the company look smart, and great marketing makes the consumers or the customers look smart. And Seth Godin, who's very popular in the world of marketing, once said that people do not buy just product or service. They buy the story, they buy the relations, they buy the magic behind the story. So the question then is, what then is your magic? So that's something that we should really sit and ask ourselves. What is the one thing that makes our product or service stand up in terms of, magic? So moving on, we want to understand in detail what marketing is in this current climate, reimagining what marketing is now. So as we move in and out of the pandemic, as the lockdown is going up and down, today we're in lockdown, tomorrow we're out of it, and our emotions are just really just going up and down and changing. So does our buying patterns change. And so people expecting things to go back to normal, it might not particularly look that way. Yes, we're going to get a vaccine in a couple of weeks, and people might go back to having some sort of balance in their life, but definitely it's not going back to normal. So what is the new normal going to look like? And what is that new future going to look like? What is marketing in the new future going to look like? So that's something that we also want to be delving into and asking ourselves. And today we have someone very special in our midst to just really help us through navigating what that means, whatever it is that we're not particularly paying attention to in terms of our marketing, whether digital. It's interesting how consumers are moving more and more to digital. Businesses are digitalizing even at a faster pace than we thought before. And so we have a special guest, Donna, who's going to be speaking to us about marketing, digital marketing, and all the tricks that we most likely don't know about. I honestly have my book and my pen just waiting to take notes and learn a lot today. So Donna is the tourism lead at Google Canada, following a 15-year digital career at Rocket Fuel, Olive Media, Yahoo, CTV, and Sports Sheet. Donna joined Google in 2016. She began her Google career focused on helping customers with performance marketing across Google's display products before becoming Google's tourism lead in 2018. A passionate advocate for Canada's tourism industries and marketers, Donna works with key partners to help generate economic growth for tourism-related businesses across Canada through data-driven digital and strategic marketing solutions. Beyond Google, Donna is a foodie at heart. You see, I can relate to that because I'm also a huge foodie. My t-shirt says.
I know, I love your shirt.
My t-shirt says foodie. So she's a foodie at heart. And seeks out culinary experiences in her travels around the world. She is also passionate about fashion and beauty and has dabbled with her own YouTube channel. Her view count is clearly a guarded secret. I'm not going to tell you that, but it's okay. And, so we just really want to welcome you, Donna. Thanks for making the time to be with us today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now just so that you can go ahead, and I'm going to make you co-host.
Awesome.
Right. So, boss ladies, please welcome Donna as she takes the floor.
Thank you. Host disabled. Okay, so let me see. So once you disable the screen sharing, I can do it. Perfect. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. So hi, everyone. Thanks for that long introduction. I realize now I'm going to shorten that biography. It's really long. That just shows you I've been in the industry for a very, very long time. I am a huge foodie. Actually, my favorite up there is Caribbean food, Jamaican food. I had jerk chicken, plantains, like rice and peas at my wedding. Like that's how much I love Jamaican food. So I'm a huge, huge foodie. Just wanted to start off with that. But today, I'm really happy to be here. I have a strong affinity towards small businesses because I grew up in that industry. My parents owned a restaurant for most of my life. I worked in the restaurant, and I know it's hard work and it's rewarding. And so I have a strong empathy towards small businesses. So when they asked if I could speak tonight, I'm like happy to do so. From the tourism side of the business, as you can imagine, tourism is probably having its worst year ever. So it's a pretty grim environment. And through tourism, I actually connect with a lot of small businesses as well, because a lot of tourism is made up of small businesses. So we do support them through letting them know the resources and tools available to get their business online. A lot of their businesses are not online. So that's why I'm here today, to share some of the knowledge that I have, and then also equip you with the tools and resources that are all free and available to you that you can access afterwards. So I'm going to start off with going through consumer behaviors and how it's evolved through the pandemic, and then share those resources that I mentioned. Make this as conversational as possible. So if you have questions throughout, happy to walk through or answer what I can. And if I can't answer the questions, I can share the answers afterwards, and hopefully that can be sent out. So we know the world has changed dramatically almost overnight, from the government restrictions to store closures to job losses. While there's so much uncertainty ahead, what we do know is that there's a lot of opportunity for businesses to reset, pivot, and come out of COVID more resilient than ever. What kind of businesses are online today, just so that I have some background knowledge on the type of businesses that are on this call? Can someone share?
I'm in vehicle sales, the automotive industry. I'm Claudia.
Hi, Claudia. Okay. It's a good industry.
We have people dropping in the comments. So we have people, we have a boss woman who sells candles. That's Francesca. We have Lissa, who's a stylist. We have people in health and wellness, virtual assistant roles, nonprofits, fashion design. We have
Everybody. Okay. So I'm going to try to, I think this information will be relevant for everyone, but the tools and resources will help you adapt to your specific business because it is such a broad group of people here. Okay, that's really good to know. So how do you become more resilient through all of this? It starts with understanding the consumer and how has the consumer evolved through COVID. Once you understand that, your job as business owners is to know where your customers are and be there for them, as you said earlier. So I wanted to walk you through what we understand about that customer today. We know the customer has changed. That is a no-brainer. But how have they changed? We also know that 75% of people using digital channels for the first time ever indicate that they will continue to use them when things return to normal. That includes those seniors out there, a generation who grew up with the black and white TVs are now video chatting like teenagers online. And for many, that transition has been relatively easy. So everyone is online and you have to be there too. And this is crazy. There has been a change across all industries around the world, but particularly in e-commerce. We've seen a great acceleration. E-commerce has jumped 10 years in only 3 months. This came out from McKinsey. It is a US stat, but it is incredibly humbling to see that we were heading in this direction already, but we are now already there in only 3 months. And what does it look like in Canada? Despite all the rising cases, online shopping continues to accelerate and e-commerce is expected to grow at 20.7% this year, reaching $52 billion. While retail overall is down, e-commerce is extremely up. And that's crazy. So we're already heading in that direction, as I said, but not all businesses have been ready for this acceleration. The fact is only 1 in 5 retail businesses in Canada are selling online today, which is pretty astonishing. So how can we help you get online? We also know with this accelerated growth in e-commerce, it's not a surprise to see the growing importance of digital tech, video calls, online shopping, social media, video streaming. Everyone is online and it's becoming more important to them more than ever, and it's here to stay. So you need to be there. And we're also seeing consumers not only spend more time online, but they're also adjusting their routines to be internet first. 23% of surveyed shoppers went online to purchase something they normally buy in a store. And searches for grocery delivery slots, of course, have grown globally over 300%. And that's still reflected today, right? That stat is actually from earlier this year, but today people are still nervous to shop in store. So how do you make sure that you have that digital storefront to accommodate to these people who are not as comfortable going in store? And interestingly enough, not all consumers are loyal to a specific brand. Canadian shoppers are open to trying new brands, which is an opportunity for smaller businesses to compete with those bigger brands. 23% of Canadian shoppers purchased a brand that was new to them during COVID that they say they'll continue to buy. And 31% of Canadian shoppers shopped online with a store or retailer they haven't shopped at before. This has been pretty consistent month over month. And we also know that shopping local is gaining a ton of traction. I'm noticing it more than ever for gift ideas for Christmas. Right now, this week at Google, our team has curated a huge list of local retailers for us to support through the holidays. And I'm personally shopping at Canadian-owned stores and supporting local restaurants, of course. In fact, some would say I'm single-handedly saving the economy with how much I spend, just like easily. This is my pastime right now. But we know that 50% of Canadian consumers claim they are more likely to shop at a local small business versus a big box. And proximity, product origin, and stock availability are now key for shoppers who are no longer willing to venture in to just get their favorites. So this is something for you to take advantage of. And this behavior has accelerated. It's not going to stop. Some things will go back to normal, but I really believe that the shift to online will only continue. And I'm sure you agree with me. From our Ipsos research, we've seen 33% of Canadian consumers expect to shop more online even after COVID. And the demand for services like contactless payments, free shipping online are growing with that shift to online as well. So you want to make sure if you have a business that you're offering all of this and that you're taking all these safety precautions to make consumers more comfortable. And beyond all that consumer sentiment study, so the data that I've shared with you is all through our consumer sentiment studies, through surveys and reports. But beyond that, we also look at Google search data, of course. Google is obviously the #1 search engine next to YouTube, which is our #2 search engine out there. We spend a lot of time looking at search trends, as they can be really helpful as a proxy for consumer demand in our market. It's the strongest signal of intent before a consumer actually makes a purchase. So we know if someone's searching, they're more likely going to be buying that, right? So even in the tourism industry, we provide recovery signals for the tourism industry to know where, when, what to market, and how to market to consumers. They're just getting ready to market when we can travel again, right? So these are the same signals you can use as business owners to understand what are people searching for. Like maybe it can help you with product development. It'll help you with creative messaging. It'll help you understand where to market based on, consumer demand is going to be different across the country and around the world. So before COVID, I think we can all agree, if you look at the slide here, that nothing is similar about these searches, like Lysol wipes versus Telescope. But then post-COVID, you'll actually see that all of these searches have grown over 1,000% year over year because of COVID. And it makes sense. It's very reflective of real consumer behavior. Lysol wipes, there's no brainer there. Best laptops 2020, people were doing virtual school from home. So everyone was getting a laptop for their kids. Vinyl siding, everyone's doing renovations. I don't know. Everyone I talk to is doing something in their house. I have someone downstairs right now putting in a marble wall. So inline skates, story behind that, my daughter decided wanted rollerblades this year. And I'm like, okay, I've got like 12-year-old rollerblades. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to go rollerblading with her. But I'm part of that stat there, that we bought more rollerblades for our house to get out there and be more active. Telescope, maybe people are looking to move off this earth, who knows, and be inspired. Maybe life is better off outside of this world right now. In bike shops near me, outdoor activities, people are just trying to find things to do, right? So even if you're in the business of, experiences, maybe these are searches that you can look into to understand consumer demand. So we're also seeing people searching for information and content to meet their essential needs, which is reflective in what we saw earlier. We saw curbside pickup and home delivery searches were up 70% and 100% year over year. And 60% of Canadian consumers search for what's open or closed near me, of course, because you want to know, you don't want to show up somewhere that's not open, right? And since then, searches for businesses near me and support small business have reached all-time highs. So these are things you need to take advantage of. Are you offering curbside pickup, delivery? Are you making it easier for people to support your business? Can you be found online, first of all, right? And then we also see this COVID-19 and the associated economic circumstances have left Canadians even more price conscious. So are you thinking about how you're pricing your product or your service? 38% of Canadian consumers say that prices are higher than normal at this time. And this is significantly increased from the end of March. I mean, it didn't really matter as much to them. And we're seeing that in our search data as well. Over 60% of searches for best affordable have grown year over year globally. And over 100% of searches within Google Maps are people searching for discounts. So are you offering some sort of incentive to get people to buy from you? Is really important today. So these are the kind of search trends that are available at your fingertips. If none of you here have explored Google Trends, it's a free tool where you can literally pick the country. So I picked Canada here. You can pick the timeline. I picked 5 years, so you can see the huge spike this year for curbside pickup. And then you can leave all the rest of the categories the same, but you can also compare it to other terms as well, and then understand where that demand for curbside pickup is highest in which province, for example, and what those terms are that they're searching for, so that you can leverage it in your Google Ads campaigns if you're doing paid media, or through your search engine optimization. This helps you understand the keywords that people are searching for and what's trending. So this is a free tool that's available to you. So a lot of the data that I just presented around searches, you can actually discover yourself and leverage. And I'll send you the link for this after as well. So that's just kind of covering all the different trends that we're seeing about consumers and how you want to make sure you're there for those consumers to meet the needs and sentiment of those consumers. So how do you ease into the transition online? If you're not online already, how can we help you and what's available to you as a business owner? So first of all, we have an online starter kit. So we have a Google for Small Business hub where we provide the starter kit that has a lot of free tools and resources on, how to understand your consumers, like Google Trends, what I just showed you. It's completely free. You can also pull the search data yourself, as I said. You can build an online presence for free. You can set up an online store. We make it super easy for you. Then you can promote your business for free. You can start it out for free and then list your products for free on Shopping tab on Google through the programs that we're offering. And you can also use tools like Local Opportunity. So Local Opportunity is a tool that lets you put in the name of your business. And if you have a Google My Business profile, it allows you to it does a quick audit and shows you, okay, these are the things you're missing from your profile to make it more accessible and searchable for consumers through Google search and maps. And then we have a finder tool to get personalized and tips in 1 minute. And then we also have other tools that are going to be surfaced through this hub. So I highly recommend that you reference this hub and then use the tools at your own pace to take advantage of what's available to you. Oops.
Sorry, can you just remind the name of the hub?
I'm going to send you a link for everything, but it's
Okay, great.
essentially just, I believe, is it here? Small Business for Google. I'll send it to you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Make it super easy for you.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, no, I love it. And then, so this is just all the tools that are available. You can literally just search for Google for small business. It'll take you there as well. Everything is searchable. Okay, so I was walking through all of this. And then we have the Shop Here program. Hopefully, maybe some of you have already heard of it, but we have partnered with Digital Main Street to be able to get 50,000 Canadian businesses online by mid next year. So that's a goal of ours. And the idea behind this program is to support, you get support through a one-on-one support through a coordinator throughout the entire process. And they actually help you get online with the tools. And then you get access to a Googler like myself who volunteer to have one-on-one coaching sessions for 3 different products: Google My Business, Google Ads, and Google Analytics. So this is an amazing program that gives you a choice of an online store customized with your branding. Then you get hands-on assistance to launch an online store through Shopify or Square, and then training to support your online store in digital marketing, inventory, and shipping, and then access to free tools to support the launch of the store. So this is an excellent program. If you haven't heard of it, make sure you sign up and take advantage of it. And then this is the Google Guide for Small Businesses. So this is something myself and my colleague built for small businesses in the tourism industry, but I wanted to share it with you because it's relevant for everyone. And essentially, I wanted to make it super easy for business owners to navigate through all the different tools and resources that we have, because it can be very, very overwhelming. So it also walks you through step by step. Number 1, make sure you get your Google My Business up, because it's your free business listing on Google. And those are all the resources that you can read through with best practices and e-learning courses. And then page speed insights, make sure your site speed is fast, because people will drop off if your site speed is slow. So it'll give you tools and tips on how to increase the speed of your site, and then all the other tools that are available to you. So if you go on to the link here, because I will be sharing this deck with you after, you can then access this 3-pager guide that will walk you through all the tools that we have available, from free to paid media. And that's all I have for you today, and I'm ready for questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Donna, for that great insight and all the resources. I was just telling the ladies on the group that the deck will be available. So you can, it's good that we're taking notes, but don't worry, the deck would also be made available. Right. So while we're waiting for some of us to come up with, to, you know, open up, unmute themselves and ask questions, I just have one question in terms of small businesses. And I like that you started off with saying that you have, you know, history with small business and you have collaborated with that in the past. But in terms of small businesses, we understand how tight resources can be. Some of us are like one-man business. We are our accountant, our marketer, our content creator, you know, we do the R&D, everything, you know, but how would you advise small business owners to go around gathering data? Because you highlighted very importantly the importance of knowing the customer, especially during this changing time and during the pandemic. What is the simplest and most time bootstrapping way to really understand what the new customer journey is and who the customer is now? Because we feel that the customers are changing.
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. I think the number one thing is, do you have a website, first of all? So I would say the number one thing, if you have a website, and if you don't have a website, get a website, because this is your storefront. It's your home base. It's where you can actually collect data on your customer and send customers to better understand that customer and their journey. So if you don't have a website yet, get a website to help you understand who your customer is. So once you have a website, leverage the insights tools that we have. So Google Analytics is an excellent resource for you to understand who's coming to your site, where are they coming from, and then you can track how they move through your site. And for those who complete a sale, how can I get more of those customers, because they'll give you audience insights. And Google has so much data that we collect across all of our owned and operated properties through Gmail, through search, YouTube, Google Maps. All this data is then bucketed into audience data where we can actually build out audience segments for you to run a paid media campaign, for example, to say, I want to reach more people like this that have bought on my site. And so having your own site will give you some data. When you create a Google My Business account, if you don't have one already, there's insights there so you can understand who's interacting with your Google My Business, who's clicking on your website, who's calling you, who's coming into your store. So these are insights that are available at your fingertips through tools that are for your business. Other than that, I would use tools like Google Trends so that you understand the market you're in, what type of products. So go in with a hypothesis. When you're using any insights or analytics tool, make sure you have a question in mind. What are you trying to understand, right? Are you trying to understand, you know, where your customers are coming from, who they are, whatever it is, have a question in mind, because you can go down a rabbit hole and just kind of just get all these insights and not know what to do with it. So start with a hypothesis, and then it'll help you be more focused in getting your answer. So that's where I would leverage is your first party data through your website and Google My Business tools, and then using something like Google Trends, which gives you insights on the consumer. And yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I have a few questions here. We have Dorian says, how long do we need to have a website to gather good data that would help us do Google ads or Facebook ads or improve our organic search?
Yeah, I think that's a great question as well. The important thing is it's not how long, it's also how much traffic goes to your site, right? So if you leave it on for 10 months and you only have 5 people coming to your site, that's still not a lot of good data. So it's a number. I think I don't have the exact math here, but if we were to, when you run a paid media campaign, for example, you have to have an objective in mind. You have to understand the value of your customer, right? So you have to understand, okay, how much is my customer worth to me? And then have that in mind, and then have a goal. Am I looking for site traffic? Am I looking for sales? Am I looking for people to book something with? Once you have those goals in mind, then you have to scale out from there. I know this is kind of a backwards answer, but that's generally how I would approach a performance marketing campaign, for example. I'm like, okay, if my customer is worth $10 to me, or a lead is worth $10 to me, I have to get like 30, 40, 50, maybe 100 times, hundreds of those leads to understand that data, right? And get leverage automation to be able to find more of those customers. So that's a hard question to answer. There's no exact answer of, how many exact customers. I think you'll have to test and learn to see what's working for you, but definitely in the hundreds or thousands at least for it to be effective and useful.
Okay. And in terms of, because you mentioned a lot would actually hinge on the amount of traffic that's coming into that website. So how would you suggest a small business owner to really pump up that traffic to be able to gather that much data?
Yeah. So always take advantage of your free tools first, right? So that's why when you look at this screen here that I'm sharing in the guide, number one is take advantage of Google My Business. It's a free tool. It's the one way, especially for local, right? If you have a physical store or you offer services within a certain area, it's a way for local consumers to find your business through Google search or Google Maps. And this is a great way for reviews as well, right? So when I'm looking for a specific store, I always go to Google first and I look up the type of business or what type of product I'm looking for. And that would direct me to someone with a Google My Business profile, right? So having that profile first, because you can have your website on there, your phone number, it's your business card online and it's free. So that's one way to get traffic to your site and to your business and to be able to track it through insights. And then number two, obviously, is to have your own website as well. And then to have the SEO work for you. So SEO is search engine optimization. That's the free way to get organically found when someone is searching for your business. But then there's a paid way. The cool thing with Google Ads is there's no minimum amount of how much you need to spend. It's just a test and learn. You can spend as little as $5 and you only pay for the interaction when someone actually clicks on your site or visits your store. So Google Ads is an efficient way, right, to be able to attract people to your business through paid media, and you only pay for the engagement.
Yeah, we have quite a number of questions coming in. Yeah. But I just want to touch on something that you mentioned during your presentation, and that's the fact that e-commerce is growing at the upwards of over 20%, especially this year. Yeah. And you have that 1 in 5 business have a digital presence. And I understand that data is very real, especially within a Black community and the small business community. Now, my question is for businesses that don't particularly have a product. So it's like service, because we have a lot of service businesses here. We have virtual assistant business, we have HR consulting, and some of the service business that are not very tangible, right? How you advise that bridge is closed, so that we don't hear 1 in 5 next year. We hear like 3 or 4 in 5, have a digital presence.
For sure. Again, these are the tools not just for e-commerce, right? Google My Business allows bookable businesses to be on there. So if you have a service, you can definitely have a Google My Business profile. Make sure you get lots of reviews, incentivize people to write reviews, and then you can make it bookable through Google My Business as well, because you want to make it seamless for consumers. Consumers are impatient more than ever. You want to make it super simple for them to do business with you. And Google My Business is the easiest way because it's free. So I'd say whether you offer a service or a product, make sure you have a Google My Business profile so that people can book your service online, message you, communicate, do business with you. And these are great resources for you to just walk through to better understand why Google My Business is so important. But from a service perspective, I think it applies to services as well. Like you would need to make sure you have a strong website and that it loads fast, right? The page speed insights is number 2, because if you have a very slow site, people will leave your site and then you'll lose that connection with that customer, because consumers, once you get someone, you need to convert them right away, right? Yeah. So having a fast site and making sure that you're, that also applies to when you're, for your search engine optimization or even your search ad campaigns. If your site is slow, that's is put into the algorithm, it will affect your score. So just following these tips apply to all businesses, whether it's a product or a service, and then leveraging YouTube, right? YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And so you can use YouTube for an organic channel, right? Where there's best practices for an organic channel through our YouTube Creator Academy. And then you can also use YouTube as a paid media platform. So once you maximize all the free tools that are available for your business, then you can start thinking about, how do I grow my business using paid media in a most efficient way without, you know, throwing so much money out there like the big brands. Does that help?
Yeah, totally. That helps. Just to follow up on that answer, there's a question from Anika, and she says, how can someone like myself that isn't tech savvy use these tools without the help of someone else? And that is quite a common question that I have seen, not just on this call, but even other small business owners that I have interacted with. So maybe in answering the question, you could maybe do a little bit of a demo for us. I know that a lot of solution is on the Google My Business and the Google Trends. So maybe you could just quickly just show us.
You want me to do a quick Google My Business review?
That could, yeah.
Would that help everyone? Because
yes.
even through Google My Business, you can get a free website. It's literally just click in. Okay, so I normally do a Google My Business review. If that will help everyone, I'm happy to present that.
Yes, we have these are the chat saying that would help. So.
Okay, so as long as you guys have time, my kids can starve. It's fine.
Yes, we have time.
Okay, give me 1 second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, that's good.
I had to hide my millions of tabs and make it look like I have a very clean web experience, but behind all this, there's like millions of tabs that are open. Okay, so generally this is what I walk through as a one-on-one coaching for shop here businesses that come to and get some Google My Business help. And a lot of people don't even realize how valuable Google My Business is. So I'll quickly walk through why use Google My Business, how to get started with Google My Business, features to help you stand out, features that make it easy for people to do business with you, and features to keep people coming, but customers to come back. And make sure you use the Google My Business app. It makes it easier for you to update your business and information on the spot. So why Google My Business? It's a great way to manage your presence through Google Search and Google Maps for free. I emphasize for free because I'm like, why would you not do that if it's a free tool for you to stand out, attract, and connect with customers? So this allows you to be in control of how your customers see your business, show what's unique about your business. It also makes it easy for people to do business with you because people can actually message you directly, call you, and write reviews, and even book your business and reserve, make reservations as well. And then there's ways to keep customers coming back. You can share latest offers, events, posts, photos. It's when I did this training, I learned it's very social, similar to social media, where we can actually do posts on Google My Business as well. But personally, for me, I heavily rely on Google reviews when I'm looking for businesses, and obviously for directions as well. So how to get started with Google My Business is sign into your Google account for your business, right? Whatever Gmail account you've made for your business. And if you don't have a Google account, you can create one. And everything highlighted here in blue is a link that will take you directly to the steps that you need to take. Make sure, as I said earlier, download Google My Business and install the application to make it super easy for you to do everything at your fingertips. So you can create your Google My Business profile from within the app, right? So you put your business name, you answer all the questions, and you fill in all your information. And then the next step is very important. You have to verify your business. You can simply claim and verify your business. And by doing this, it allows you new customers to find you across Google. It allows you to create promotional posts, track business analytics, and respond to customer reviews. Verification actually helps ensure the accuracy of your business information, because a lot of people don't verify their business. So it doesn't ensure the accuracy that we're looking for across Google. And we know that verified businesses are 5 times more likely to get business from Google. And we also know that complete business profiles are twice as likely to be considered reputable by customers. So once you apply for the verification, you'll get a postcard within 5 days. Sometimes through COVID, it might take a little longer. Enter the code into the system and then click on verify now and submit, and then you're good. So that's how you get started. And then here are the different features to help you stand out. And what's great is we know how important Google My Business is to consumers, that through COVID, Google has made a very big effort to ensure that they're enabling features that will help businesses through COVID. So you'll learn a lot through here on all the updated features that have been released and launched because of COVID. So by displaying your business address or service area, hours, contact information description, this helps customers get in touch with you and know who you are. And we have a GMB, so Google My Business is what GMB stands for, guidance for businesses affected by COVID-19. So these are links so that you can keep up to date with all the new features that keep coming out to make sure you take advantage of those new features. And so I'm going to walk you through 5 of the new features to make sure that you're up to date from that perspective, and then you can go to the link to get the full list. But number 1 is make sure you're updating your opening hours. A lot of this was, at the beginning of COVID when people were changing their opening hours. So make sure you keep your business hours up to date so that people don't just show up at your business and you're closed, because 54% of consumers are actually looking for opening hours through your profile. And if you have a temporary closure, make sure that you mark your business as temporary closed so that people don't know that you're permanently closed. So that was a big thing in the tourism industry. So I'm not sure how it applies here. And then keep your business info updated. So this is these are new attributes that were released for food, retail, and service businesses. So consumers care about safety more than ever, right? So you want to make sure that you take advantage of the health and safety attributes that apply to your business. Do they require an appointment? Do they require a mask when they visit your business? So these are things to let consumers know that you are a safe place to go, right? So make sure you take advantage and mark those attributes in your profile. And then you always want to constantly keep your business info updated. So for restaurants, you want people to know that you offer delivery and takeout. This is something that I pay attention to for all the businesses close to me, because I'm always trying to support local businesses and local restaurants. And then from a shopping perspective, do you allow for in-store pickup or curbside pickup or delivery? So these are all attributes that you can add to your profile, and only the attributes that are relevant to your business category will surface here for you to select. Number 4 is create a COVID-19 post. So within Google My Business, you can actually create different posts, very similar to social media, where you can talk about events, maybe offer gift cards, or talk about a new product that has that you're offering. So we now have something called a COVID specific post, so that if there's something that you want to announce that is related to COVID on your business page, you can actually do a specific COVID post to maybe inform your customers about increased hygiene standards in your business, for example. And then you want to stay caught up, as I said, on all the different new features that keep coming out. So there's actually a COVID-19 dashboard card within the app that allows you to see all the new features that come out because of COVID, as we try to be more helpful to consumers and businesses. And what's really cool, this is new as well. If you don't have the app, or if you're not on your laptop, if you're just searching for your business through Google Search or Google Maps, you can actually edit your profile if you're logged in to your Google account that is related to your business, or right in the actual web browser. So you can see here that you can edit your profile, start promoting, etc., right from Google Search and Google Maps. And now I'm going to go through all like the basic features of Google My Business that everyone needs to take advantage of. So you can actually upload photos. So a lot of times people will upload photos and tie it to your business, but as your own business, you want to probably represent and have your own photos there to show up, right? Because they're probably better quality, more relevant to your business, for example. Photos bring life to your business and snaps into sales with photos and products and services. So you can click here for photo guidelines, but we know that 90% of people are more likely to visit if you have photos of your business on Google Search and Maps. And we want to make sure your brand is consistent across all the channels that you show up on. So that includes Google My Business as well. You want to make sure you have your logo and your cover photo there because you want to bring your brand identity to your business profile. We know that 42%, we see a 42% increase in requests for directions for businesses with photos on their profile. And then, as I mentioned earlier, if you go through the Shop Here program, they'll help you launch an online store. But let's just say you don't go through the Shop Here program or you don't want to go through Shopify. Google My Business allows you to create a website directly from the app. So it's a free optional website that's automatically created from your business profile and allows you to showcase what makes you unique, and you can customize it accordingly. Super easy and seamless for those people who have very little resources. And these, as I mentioned earlier, from the health and safety attributes, there's a lot of attributes out there. So make sure you select all the attributes that are relevant to your business that are available through the app, because customers are more likely to consider purchasing from you when you have a more detailed profile. And then category specific features. When you're selecting the category of your business, make sure it describes exactly your business. I was talking to one business owner that had a dance school for young girls or boys. And she's like, how come I don't show up when I'm searching for my business on Google Maps or even search next to my competitors? So it turned out she chose dance studio instead of dance school. So they thought her business was a theater. So she would show up if it was anything related to dance theater, not a dance school. So once we changed that, we searched for her and she was immediately showed up. So just be very specific with the categories that you select for your business. And then you can also, as I mentioned earlier, it's very similar to social media. You can do posts. So share what's in store with events, get people talking about your offers, let them know the latest news about your business. And then you can click here for best practices on posts. And then you can even showcase a product catalog where you can actually select different products that you want to highlight and showcase them through your Google My Business profile so people see it when they're there. And you can also customize what you want people to see, whether you want them to see the product catalog first or the post, whatever. There's options to customize your section. And again, similar to the stat we shared earlier, 50% of customers look for promotions or discounts when searching for a business online. So you can do that through posts. And here are just some examples of the type of posts that you can do. And then to make it super easy for people to write a Google review for your business, you can actually create a short name. So a lot of times when people tell me to write a review for their business, I literally have to search them up and then write a review. Here, this is a really quick way for you to message someone right in the app and have a short name that links directly to your Google My Business account for them to write a review. So this is just one of the features that you can use to help promote your business. And then features that make it easy for people to do business with you. Of course, phone calls. If people can call you, make sure that your phone number is listed there. Giving them a direct line to your business makes it much easier for them to do business with you. And 90% of people are more likely to interact with you when your phone number is showing up on search and maps. And then if you have specific questions and answers that are very popular, you can actually highlight them within your profile as well, because 30% of people searching for your business information want it instantly. So you want to surface those most frequently asked questions in your profile. And then for those businesses out there who are service businesses, you can actually do bookings. So we partner with third-party booking platforms like OpenTable and MindBody, where people can actually make a reservation right within the app without having to leave your profile. And this is available for dining, activities, beauty, and fitness. Because we know 50% of consumers want to schedule an appointment when searching for a business online. And if you don't have a booking platform that you work with, you can use the messaging function to get people to book directly through the messaging functionality as well. So instead of having your number there where people can text you, people can actually text you right through your Google My Business app and get the booking requests with messaging. And then reviews. I mentioned earlier, reviews are everything. It's a great way to get invaluable feedback so people can customers can tell you about their experiences and how you can reply. always reply to all reviews, because that will actually be more authentic to your business and build the trust for the customers that see your profile. 66% of customers say positive reviews help them decide where to shop. And then you can offer follow and welcome offers. So I had to learn this the hard way. I was like, where do we find that follow button that you see right here? You actually have to, as a business, make posts on a regular basis. And if you do that, the system will surface this follow button so that consumers can actually be notified when you make a post. Because you're making posts often, they can actually follow you to see the offers that do come up. And you can also use this a welcome offer to incentivize people to follow you on Google My Business. And then, as I mentioned earlier, insights is everything, especially if you have the right question. So through Google My Business, you have insights that let you immediately understand how many customers have viewed your profile, connected with you through your business profile, and gives you a deep understanding of how customers have found you and the actions they took. These are examples of questions that you want to ask yourself. How do searchers find you? How do they interact with your profile? Where are they coming from? Do you see more foot traffic, etc.? So this can be a valuable tool if you know what you're trying to look for. And then we make it super easy for you to run Google Ads campaign. So when you want to start engaging and attracting more customers, you can actually run a Google Ads shopping campaign right directly from your app. Finally, the app is incredible. It gives you instant insights. It lets you speak directly with customers because that messaging feature is only available through the app, not the desktop version. And you can make updates a lot easier at your fingertips and share information instantly and reward customers who follow you. So make sure you download the app. And if you happen to want to add anyone to help you manage your Google My Business profile, there's an option to add managers to it. So that's my quick overview of Google My Business. Hopefully that was helpful. But a link to this deck is right here. It's the #2 link that you see here. So you'll find links to help centers, to everything, all within this 2-pager.
Thank you so much, Donna. I know that I'm speaking for a number of women here, that the information is quite daunting and quite overwhelming, especially when we have small teams for businesses. But I understand that it's a one day at a time kind of process, just taking it one step at a time, and eventually we'll get to the promised land. And so we have a few questions here that are really just hitting on the fact that how can Google My Business support e-commerce business, or a business that doesn't have a physical address where people can meet? How can they still take advantage of all of the infrastructure that Google My Business provides?
Yeah, so I actually talked to a lot of businesses who only had an e-commerce presence. So technically, Google My Business is only built for physical locations or businesses that who deliver, might be e-commerce, but you only deliver to a certain area. And I figure if you have e-commerce and you support a certain area, why not take advantage of it? Because then you're just more searchable and people can still write reviews about your business. And you could link your website through there, showcase your products, your e-commerce products through the product catalog. You can surface offers and sales. So you can still leverage it as a strong tool. It's definitely even better if you offer service a specific area or you have a physical business, but I still think it can be used for e-commerce just to be discoverable through Google search and maps. And so you would probably hide your address. I would highly recommend, if you have any troubleshooting questions, every time I get a question, I literally go to this Google My Business Help Center, and you can see the community is super strong there. You can ask questions, probably already been asked, and there's already answers there. So someone asked me, like, how do I hide my address? Because I run my business from home and I'm an e-commerce site. There is a way to hide your address, no problem there, but at least having your address there allows you to know what area you're servicing, for example, or someone might offer curbside pickup even though they're online only, for example. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps, especially the bit about, you know, the help center and community. And I know as women in our community, we're used to like getting things done by ourselves and figuring it out ourselves. But
Yeah.
I want to say the fact that we've almost all 50 of us have come out today shows that we're willing to get help
Love
from.
it.
Right? So please, ladies, take advantage of the whether health centers or communities. No man is an island. We can always get these answers from, you know, different areas as long as it's our goal. We have another question here from Nads, and she's saying, how do you make a fast site?
Yeah, that's a great question. Why don't what we can do here is I'll do a quick review. Page speed and site. Does anyone have I won't put anyone on the spot, but this is a really amazing tool.
I think you can, all part
Does
of learning and, you know, being a practical experience. So yes, I think some of our ladies wouldn't mind being called up to it.
Okay, so does someone, oh my God.
Yeah,
there we go. Does anyone have a website they want me to plug in here?
Go through. So we have careercoachk.com.
Okay. So career coach
K. Yeah. K for kite. K.com.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is super high level. The other links that I share in the doc are definitely for more developers, but this gives you a good idea of what your page speed is like and actually gives you feedback on things that can be improved. I would say the biggest and easiest thing to improve on your website is the size of the images that you use on your site, because know that most people are accessing your site from a mobile phone. You don't need a high pixeled, you know, high resolution image on your phone. And most of the time when you reduce that file size, that also helps to decrease the load time. So your site speed is 7.4 seconds. The ideal speed is 2.5 seconds, right? So you want to make sure you find anything you can to reduce that down. This is actually really slow. So you want to make sure even Google's not perfect. Okay. So Google is slow too. So don't, you know, just kind of put it out there. It's very rare for me to see someone who's under 2.5. But knowing that you're at 7.4, there's probably a lot of room for you to even get that down to 4 seconds, for example. And so what you do is you go to the site and then get the full report here, and it will actually tell you what are the things that you can improve and which ones will have the biggest impact. Because you might not be able to do everything, right? Especially if you're just by yourself. But the main thing could be just reducing the image size, or maybe make sure the videos are hosted on another platform like a YouTube, right? That you're not hosting the video on your site, for example, which would slow it down. So there's going to be tips that are individualized and customized for your specific site when you download the full report. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps. Maybe we could check, because I see a lot of people dropping their website now. Maybe we can check
sure.
Website, and we have cultivate-self.com.
Okay. Cultivate
-self.com, like -self.com.
Okay. I like. Okay, so this is a wellness site, I'm guessing?
Yes, it is.
I like wellness. I like everything that you guys are showing. I like the cars too, by the way.
Thank you.
I love it. Okay, it's coming. Everyone loves this site. Everyone's just like, okay, how's my site? How's it doing? Okay, so not so bad, right? 3.6 seconds is faster. And know that you need to get down to 2.5, but there's room for improvement, right? So again, this is an opportunity for you to get your full report, and it walks you through the basic things below here, and then it'll give you a personalized report up here.
Okay, thank you so much. This is very helpful. And for a lot of us who are dropping a website, we saw how easy she was able to do it. We can just and just really do it for our website. Could you in where we can, get the full reports? I believe it's also on the deck.
It's all here. So if you look at when on the right-hand side, once you put in your, and you get your score, you just go get your full report here, and it'll tell you to fill out your information, and it'll email the full report to you.
Awesome.
Okay?
And then,
And
where
then
do they find the link to
this link? So this link will be, so when I share this deck with you, the link, I've clicked it out. I've made it public so that you can see this is the full 3-pager. 5 steps to digitize your business. Keep it simple, but then you can dive deeper into some of the steps and tools. Start here, and then you end down here. Market Finder, for example, is if you want to expand to other markets and you're like, okay, I'm thinking of expanding to the UK, or what is my opportunity there? What is the payment tools? Like, this is an excellent new tool available for you to go global, right? Especially with e-commerce, you can go from anywhere, right? Do your business anywhere. So these are just tips for you, resources, even e-learning courses that you can take at your own pace. So I'm not telling you to do everything all at once. You can take your time, go through the resources. Skillshop is our e-learning program for all of our products that are offered at a beginner level for 5 minutes. You can select the amount of time you want to spend on it. And then the last page of this 3-pager guide is the Google Trends, the Shop Here program that I mentioned. We also have Grow with Google on Air, which has a bunch of webinars for you to learn and then do one-on-one coaching with Google as well. And then we have like an app for you to do bite-sized lessons to better. So honestly, there's just so many tools available. It's just go at your own pace and what's comfortable for you. But start with the basics first. Go with what's free. I understand. If I were to run my own business, I'm like, okay, let's take advantage of all the free stuff first. But these are links to everything that will be included in this guide.
Thank you. Nandi has a question, and she's asking, does Google provide classes that she could take to understand all of this information?
Yeah, so Skillshop is what I mentioned here, and it's in the link. So if you go to even like Google Skillshop, so this is the Google My Business e-learning program. It's for beginners. It's 42 minutes. Go at your own pace, but look at the filters that we have on the left-hand side: beginner, short, long. And then these are all the topics that we have. So for you, I would say Google My Business is important. And then when you want to start paying for media, and remember again, don't be intimidated for paid media, because it can be as little as $5 for you to experiment. How much is a click? How much does it cost for someone to click? So it's just experimenting and testing and learning. And then we have analytics. So we have e-learning programs for all of our Google tools that are highlighted here. So Skillshop, Skillshop, Skillshop. And then again, don't forget the help centers. They're super valuable for troubleshooting. There's a community that will answer your questions, and you can ask questions as well.
Awesome. Thank you. I just have like 1 or 2 more questions.
No problem.
I will let you.
My kids aren't yelling at me yet, so you got time.
Yeah. Awesome. So we have one question, which I think you touched on it a little bit in your presentation. And during my research, I already found that is the fact that during this pandemic, the consumption for video content has increased by over 54%. I said the last check. I'm sure that number is higher by now. But considering the context that we have in here, which is smaller business, what would you say is the power of influence in this space between video content and written content or infographics, and how can small business
video. You have to do video. So again, YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. So that just tells you how powerful video is, and everyone's streaming video on their TVs or watching videos on their phone. Even if my mom, who can barely understand English, she had no idea that Google owned YouTube. Maybe 2 years after I started working at Google, she's like, "Oh, Google has YouTube." She was so excited. And I'm just like, yeah, it's our favorites. I was just like, oh, it's all the same. So YouTube is such a powerful platform, and everyone is watching everything from cooking videos to working out to inspiration for travel and dreaming. I use it for meditation. You can find everything, how to. And so I would say, as a business owner, you can do little snippets, and the way to take advantage of Creator, everything is searchable, by the way, right? So Creator Academy, this is a link that I included in the 2-pager, but YouTube Creator Academy is a way to organically show up without doing paid media first. This is a toolkit for you to learn, quick start guide to YouTube, get discovered, how do you start earning money, and then it's just tips for everything, right? And it gets down to even like how to make thumbnails stand out, right? So this is just really straightforward, free online courses to learn about how to create an effective YouTube channel for a small business too, right? As I said, I have my own YouTube channel. It has like very little followers, but I'm experimenting. You have to experiment. You have to, you just don't be intimidated. You just have to start, right? It's like your site as well, right? This is just another social media platform for you to show up on and to discover new audiences, new customers, to attract them, to engage with them. It's a powerful platform if you just take that leap. I know it sounds daunting, but you just have to start.
Thank you. That is super helpful. So you would advise that every business owner should have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I think so. I think it sounds daunting, but it is a social media platform. It's funny because when I talk to my tourism partners and the tourism businesses, they treat YouTube as a library for all their ads. I'm like, why do you create? It's not a storage place. This is where people get inspired. People learn how to do things. You should create content that is meant for YouTube, for the YouTube audience, because it's huge. So yes, I do encourage it, but take baby steps. Don't. So what I did is like, I bought the best camera, the best microphone, the best everything. I got selfie lights, and then I just, it took a lot of work, and I'm like, oh, this is too much. That's why I only have a few followers. It's always a kept secret. But if you take a step back and just be authentic, be real, be you, and that's what people want, right? They don't want like this big production. They just want your authentic self, your voice, your story, as you said at the beginning, right? It's not the product that they're buying, it's you, it's your story. It's a very helpful thing. I'm even doing on the side is just like, as your brand, you have to build your story, and YouTube is a perfect platform to tell your story.
Awesome. We have Steph just collaborating, and she's saying, or corroborating, and she's saying she recently made a YouTube channel in essay write. It's definitely daunting, but a fun, daunting experience, which I agree. I have a YouTube channel as well that I have left sitting dormant for 2 years now, just because, my goodness, I just,
right?
Like you said, it's baby steps, right? So even if it's just 1 minute of, how production is looking like behind the scenes of you making your product, or how you did a Zoom session with a HR professional or a HR client, and then you just bring a bit of testimonial and put that out. It's baby steps, right?
Exactly. And think about what you would want to see online. Like, put yourself in the consumer's shoes. That's what we always have to remember, that you're also a consumer and next to a business owner. What would you see? What are you attracted to? And try to emanate that through your channel. So hopefully that's inspiring and helpful. And now I have to start doing it too. I just told you to do that. And I'm just like, I did a makeup video and it took 45 minutes. And then I was like, oh, this is going to take a long time to edit. So I just put the whole 45 minutes up, and everyone that watched it was like, you might want to reduce it to like 10 minutes, maybe 5. And I'm like, that's too much work. So I get it.
The editing part is always the daunting part. But
oh God, yeah.
Baby steps. Yeah. Thank you, Donna. I think we have taken all the questions right now. Nandi says, putting yourself out there is certainly easy, but it gets better. Yes, I second that. So thank you, Donna. It's been super, super, super amazing just learning all the information you shared, all the resources. My goodness, I, as well as all the beautiful ladies here, cannot wait to have our hands on those documents and those links and all of that. So thank you so much. We appreciate you and the time that you spent with us today. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It was nice to meet all of you. Have an amazing night, and good luck. We're all gonna get more resilient through it. It's a great time to reset and grow. So good luck to all of you.
Amazing. Thank you. We're still here till about 7:30. So if you want to stay back with us, that's fine. But if you want to
No,
leave,
I got to deal with my kids. I keep
oh,
ignoring them. So I got to get to them.
hi to Donna.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you
Bye.
for having me.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so that was very, very insightful. I can't even begin to say just how much all that detail was, going to help. You know me, because I'm also a marketing professional, so just helping improve on my knowledge. And I'm glad that you were also engaging and also like asking all your questions and learning. I will follow up with her to get all of the decks. Trust me, I will get it, and then I'll send it across to every one of you, just so that you can start working on it, baby steps. I do have a few more information to, just share with us concerning marketing. I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Yes. Can we see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Looks good.
Awesome. So just in line with what Donna mentioned, that I know there's a thing called information overload and stuff, but I think the more we know and the more the more information we consume, the better it is for our business. And one thing that I paid very serious attention to, especially when COVID started, was, how consumer behavior was changing, what is becoming more important to them. Like Donna mentioned, consumers are becoming more price sensitive. Before they walk into the store and they would not particularly be so bothered about how much something costs. But now that everybody's sitting in their cushion, they're not in a hurry to leave the store, they're paying more attention to how much things are. And so consumers are more price sensitive. Things like their buying patterns are changing. People are shopping more at night than during the day. So there are different things that are changing with consumer behavior, and we want to pay attention to it, even as we walk through the marketing for our business. And one very important thing is our making our marketing more personalized. So that's understanding how consumer journeys is changing and also speaking to them at that point. I know it could be huge, especially when we're a small business and there's a lot of people that we attend to. Sometimes we even run out of our product, or we sell out, or inventory runs low. But it's important that we understand a different customer journey and speak to them at different points. So if it's during delivery or when they're just inquiring about the product, just making it more personalized. I know I don't know how many of us were on last week, or that was last week when we had Danielle come on to talk about her business and e-commerce. And she mentioned very clearly how she would always respond to DMs like very quickly, and people will say, oh, thank you for your quick response. Right there, you see that what they value is very quick turnaround on their request. So understanding what consumers' behavior are changing into and trying to meet them at that point is very critical. We also want to develop partner ecosystems, right, where we can reduce the cost, but also take advantage of the different marketing opportunities that they are. So for example, if you're a food business, you're a healthy food business, you can collaborate with, say, a fitness business so that you can cross promote across your platforms, right? At this point, everything is all fair game. So we're taking advantage of, all of the opportunity that we have to reach our target audience, to reach our consumers, and to keep putting our products and service in front of them until they engage us. And also another thing that is important that we pay attention to is using data. And I know that Donna highlighted this a little bit, but just really using data to really get our marketing up to scale. So using new trends, using data, however it is, whether it's doing surveys, whether it's using Google Trends to understand what your your client base looks like. You want to be able to take advantage of that to stand out from the competition, even during this changing time, because like I said earlier, we're not returning back to how things were before. This is going to be a new normal, so we want to be able to adapt to that. Research shows that consumers are increasingly searching for content and critical information that meets their needs. So you want to be able to use critical keywords that are specific to your business. Donna touched on it with an example where she said someone who was a dance teacher who had a dance school used keyword dance studio, which was not doing good for her business. She had to change it to dance school, I believe. So you want to be able to use the right keywords. You want to be able to use SEOs to keep your brand top of mind and searchable. And I know a lot of us might not know what that is, but thankfully there are resources online. Google is really great with those teachings. One is called Skillshop. You can go on there and take your time, maybe 30 minutes every evening. You can just read up on how to improve, how to engage SEOs, how to use the right keywords to, up your marketing spectrum, just improve on it. And also research shows that 54% there's a 54% increase in videos that are with me, like that have something that has with me in them. So videos of, say, cooking with a family or studying with a family, just with me videos, there's been a 54% increase in those content. So you want to be able to understand, how can I take advantage of that? If I have a food business, how can I create content that shows, say, cooking with me or dining with somebody else? So that collaborative spirit, because the more people are isolated, the more there is demand to do something, whether virtual or in person, but in small groups that encourage that social engagement. So you want to be able to think hard and say, okay, how can my business take advantage of this trend? Okay, if it's, and I know Donna mentioned maybe starting a YouTube channel, but it might not be as daunting as that. You can take advantage of social media, do short videos, take advantage of Insta stories, take advantage of WhatsApp stories, or, anything that gives you opportunity to share video, however short, however simple, of your product, of your service, of your testimonials. Just share, and keep sharing, keep staying in front of your customers just until they convert and they stay retained, and also encourage other people to come engage with your service or with your product. So really, that is something that we want to always pay attention to. Marketing is not a destination kind of project. It's something that is ongoing. You always want to keep doing it, keep taking advantage of new trends, to keep improving on the health of your marketing, and in turn the health of your business. So I know it's a lot of daunting information. Marketing is not something that you learn or come up to speed with in an hour, 30 minutes. You have to keep learning, but hopefully this has been a bridge, or a way to shorten that bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And in light of that, we're going to talk about the homework, which is a simple one, to really just conduct a short survey, either using Google Trends or creating, or using Google Forms or using SurveyMonkey, to understand now what your customer looks like. Is something changing? Do they prefer something else other than what you're offering? I read about it somewhere where it's called product myopia, where business owners are so concentrated on their product, on their service. They're so wowed by how incredible their product is, that they may be out of tune with what the customers actually really want. So you might think, oh, this bio that I created is so fantastic. But then when you engage with your customer, they didn't need the bio, they just wanted an eraser or something. So you always want to be able to engage with your customers to know exactly what is it that they want, and be sure that you're giving them what they want. Because if I've learned anything in this pandemic, is that everything can change in a second, literally everything. So we want to be able to stay up to date with that. So that's the take-home assignment for today. Yes, I know today was daunting, and if you have any other questions, you can always share them. Send me an email, or send me an email, and definitely we'll get, if I can't answer the questions, so we'll get the answers from Donna or any other professional that we have working with us. But that is literally the end of what we have for you today. Thank you everyone for staying all the way to the end. What I did want to plug in as we wrap up is the fact that I understand, and I have engaged with a few of you on the call, and I understand that a lot of you want one-on-one engagement with either a professional or with some of us at BPA. And we have BAIDS that literally just launched a couple of days ago, where we are pairing businesses and their needs to professionals. It's called BAIDS, Business Advisory Implementation and Development Services, right? I'm just going to post the link here, because what we're trying to do is gather as many we're gathering as many business owners and their needs as possible, so that we can pair them. We have lots of partners. We have partners from finance, from HSBC, IBM, RBC, tech companies, different partners that we're working with as consultants, so that they can we all hear me? I seem to be frozen.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay, awesome. So yes, that's the link I shared. So if we can just fill the form, it's with that form, we understand what your business is into. We understand, most importantly, what your business need is, so that we can, using that, we can then pair you with a consultant. So if your business need is business planning, right? We have partners. We have partners in the women, the Ryson, where we can pair you with someone who will walk you through. If it's incorporating your business, we have professionals who will be able to help you with that. So I would really encourage all of us to fill that form, so we gather what your business is, what your business need is, and then we can pair you with the resources or the network that would be able to get you that quickly, because 2020 is almost over, and 2021, we want to be able to secure all the bags, all of it. And if it means pairing you with the right people, if we don't have the resources as BPA, we have a plethora of partners who are just willing and waiting, to help us. So I would really encourage every one of us to fill the form. I'll be watching it at the back end to see how many of you have filled it. And if you haven't filled it, I'm going to call meet you and say, I thought you have a need, like just put what that need is. And we would, get back to you and tell you who you're paired with, and then how. It's more like a business mentorship kind of thing, but we don't want to call it mentorship because it's literally hands-on, right? I know one of us on this call she was helped to incorporate her business. She was helped to get her taxes filed and all of that stuff. So it's literally one-on-one. It's very practical. It's very hand-holded. So it's not just talking. So we're doing all of the work with you as well. We're working with you in the trenches, right? So please fill the form. And if we don't have any other questions, this is the point where I say thank you for coming, and I hope you have a really productive rest of the week. And we look forward to having you next week, Tuesday. Dorian has a pop-up question. Okay, I'm not on that project, so I might not have the answer for you, but if you send me an email, I will definitely have the answer for you. So let me just put the email here. Office. There you go. Right. So if you have any question concerning the pop-up, please just shoot me an email, and I will find the answer for you, wherever the answer is. Do we have any other question? I think, Dorian. Okay, you were the one who texted that question. Yes. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. I hope that this was very helpful. It was helpful to me as well. I look forward to having you all next week. Next week, I believe we have a session with the government. It's going to be about procurement and really doing business with the government, and a lot of other details that they'll be sharing with us. But it's going to be, I believe, 2 people from the government of Canada who would come speak to us about doing business with the government. So I look forward to seeing you next week. I hope you have a lovely evening. Take care, everyone.